So Jimmy, I got a question for you. I've been waiting to ask you this question for a while. So I, because I follow you guys very closely. I love the work that you guys are doing. I lost 200 pounds with ketogenic diet over the last couple of years, and then immediately rebounded about 30 pounds. And I know that you've struggled with that as well, with the weight coming on. You know your diet is on point as much as you can get it, but sometimes you've got just a little bit of weight, that 20, 30 pounds or whatever, that just won't go away. How are you dealing with that in your head? Because it's not about the exercise. I'm exercising, my diet's where it is, but sometimes not seeing the scale where I want it to be, it messes with your head a little bit. How are you dealing with that?
Yeah, so when you have constant reminders that you're a little bigger than you used to be,
Yeah.
you can't help but think about it. So what I've done is I don't let the weight be a struggle. Everybody says, oh, you still struggle with
Right.
your weight. No, I don't struggle with my weight at all. Am I concerned? Yeah. Do I want to do something about it? Yeah. But the way I wrap my head around it now, Aaron, from a psychological standpoint, thank you for asking this question. Nobody's ever asked me this before, is I focus on what matters. And what matters most to me, especially as I'm getting closer and closer to 50, I want to be healthy. I want to have a sharp wit, a sharp mind, a calm mood. I want to feel good, even if the weight is still there. I'm bucking a lot of genetic trends in my family's history. I had two grandfathers, both sides of my family, both died of heart disease in their early 50s. My brother Kevin, as you well know, lost his life at 41 from heart disease and morbid obesity. My dad had a heart attack at 48 and 50, and then quintuple heart bypass at 54. He's not doing well today in his late 60s. So I have strong genetic tendencies that I'm fighting. And people never look at you in that context. They always look at you in, well, you're this keto icon. You should be perfect weight and look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm never going to look like Arnold. I don't care that I look like Arnold or not. What I want to be is the best darn Jimmy Moore that I can possibly be. I know I'm not 410 pounds anymore. I'm no longer on 3 prescription medications anymore, which I used to be. I care about what I stick in my mouth now, and we're doing proactive things to try to deal with the stresses that are in there. I think stress is a big thing for me, Aaron.
Sure.
Writing a bunch of books and doing a lot of podcasts is very stressful. I love it. I love every minute of it, but it's stressful, and we're already planning how to deal with that. We're already have it on our calendar, July through December of 2020. I'm disconnecting from everything. I won't be online. I won't do any podcasts, won't write any books. We're going to make the ultimate N=1 experiment to see if kind of the day-to-day activity of what I do, which is aiming to make people healthier, is actually impacting my health in a negative way. Thankfully, the health markers are good. It's just that darn weight just wants to stay right there.
And what we need to focus on too, yes, someone may look at you, walking down the street, oh, he's unhealthy, but what they don't see are his important health markers, his blood markers. So HSCRP is really good. HDL is really good. Fasting blood sugar, A1C is good. Triglycerides are good. The only thing that he's still seeming to struggle with, and this would go back to the stress thing, is his fasting insulin, as is mine. My fasting insulin. I cannot. Fasting insulin, mine is pretty high, for somebody.
What is it?
It's 22.
22.
And yours
and
is...
your A1C?
My A1C is 5.1.
Right. And so I have a fasting insulin of 14, which again, I'm not type 2 diabetic or anything, but you would think eating keto would be much lower than that. Right. But my A1C is 4.9. So decent markers showing good metabolic health despite the weight.
Yeah.
So that's how I deal with it, Aaron. I focus on what matters. And to me, what matters most are all those health markers Christine was describing, and less about the weight, because I know if I move in the direction towards the insulin coming back in line, that weight will drop like that.
Yep.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. Because, there's not a whole lot of us that have lost hundreds of pounds, and maybe you've seen a little bit of a rebound. So when I get somebody like that on the podcast, I definitely want to talk to him. Because, when I go online, people that have lost, what I see is people who lost 50 pounds, 60 pounds. So they weren't crazy, morbidly obese, and the ketogenic diet worked like a charm for them. But it seems like those people that have lost hundreds and hundreds of pounds, man, you've just spent so long at such a big size that your body seems to rebel and do everything that it can to get back to maybe not 400 pounds, but my body tells me it seems like that it's more comfortable at 230 than it is at 190 or 180, and it seems like I'm always working against myself.
Yeah, I have a theory as to why that's happening.
Let's hear it.
So when you lose a whole lot of fat, you still have fat cells in your body.
Right.
And those fat cells, and we've actually seen some pretty decent studies about this, where your fat cells remember you being fat. So even though you remove a whole lot of the fat cells, they're still in there. So even though you eat better, they're looking for ways to make you fat again because it's trying to reach some state of homeostasis. For you, it's 230. For me, it's closer to 300 that I'm feeling that my body just, that's where it wants to be for some reason. And so one of the things that I've thought about doing is having those fat cells removed from my body. Then
not a bad idea.
Happen once you remove those fat cells, liposuction, whatever it is that would do it, just to see if that would make the difference in that rebound. I think the rebound has a lot more to do with kind of the genetics of being obese and those fat cells still sticking around. They wreak havoc on you even though you've made your body smaller.
Yep.
So I'd love to see more research on this because the research I read was on like animal-based models, not on humans yet.
That's a good point, and I wonder. I've wondered the same. If I just have fat cells that like a certain amount of fat in them, and I just have so many of them, because when you get to 400 pounds, you have a lot of fat cells. You just do, and I have so many fat cells that they want a certain amount of fat in them. I mean, what does a fat cell that's empty of fat do? I mean, what what happens to it? I don't even know. A totally deflated fat cell. I have no idea. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Let's talk about the book. So, Real Food Keto, and at the time of this recording, it comes out tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Okay. So when this airs, will have been out for a week or two, but it comes out November 6th. So I encourage you guys to go find all that stuff. So, can you? I guess, Christine, let's talk about you, your website, what is it, Rebooting Your Nutrition? Can you talk about that a little bit? What is that and what's happening there?
So that's just basically a website where rebootingyournutrition.com, that's where you can write to me to ask me about my services, what I charge, and what's all involved with that. So you write to me there, then I'll respond to you and we'll start the process. And then Jimmy and I got a website for Real Food Keto, realfoodketo.com, where they can go to get information about the book and order it.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to put links to all of that in the show notes. Is there anything else that we need to know before we call it a day?
And if they don't know who I am, Google my name. The first
Right.
3 pages of all my past books and podcasts and everything, but livinlavitalow-carb.com.
So I love your stuff, and I recommend always Keto Talk. I love that. I mean, that is a must listen to podcast for me week in and week out. I love what you guys are doing there, and Living La Vida Low Carb is excellent as well.
Yeah, Will is amazing on Keto Talk. I am so grateful because he brings a different perspective from kind of the functional medicine side of things. Sometimes he'll say a word and I'll go, whoa, what's that?
Right.
What's that again? Is that like a continent in Asia? What is that?
Exactly. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. And those of you that are listening, hold on. We'll be right back with some more information.